Today is March 29th. It's a Thursday. You should have just finished quiz 10.5 and corrected assignment 10.3. If you haven't done that, we need to stop the video and you need to correct assignment number 10.3 and turn it in. Okay, we are going to be doing a lab today, but it is going to be a dry lab, meaning I've already given you the information for it, and you're going to upload it to Canvas. So right here in your Canvas, I have given you a map of and color topographic map right here that you can download and you can color, or you can color one that you've been handed out as you came in. So let's go through what needs to be done here. So we're going to be learning about a small town and some water problems that they've been having. You need to write this up individually, and you're going to submit it individually on Canvas. So you will need a computer today. Let me explain, and then I'll have you get the computers, or you can stop the video right now if the sub would like to, and have you go get a computer, because they do take a while to start up. So that probably was the best idea. Stop the video, go get a computer. Everybody needs one. All right. So coming back, the lab that we're doing is Nephi-Ha, a small town investigation. Basically, follow along with me with your lab and read along with me. Citizens have been given a large environmental bill. Our ancestors, not knowing any better, polluted our land through their industrial and agricultural activities. As their waste products slowly spread through the subsurface, soil, and bedrock, our groundwater is being contaminated. Today we've been asked to conduct a hydrological investigation of a region with a known groundwater contamination problem. What is not known is the source of the contaminants. Several potential responsible parties have been identified, but none are willing to accept responsibility. Consequently, the town has contracted us to perform this investigation and report our findings regarding the source of the pollution. Our findings will be used in further legal acts so that cleanup activities can commence. A principal investigator has already conducted the preliminary investigation of the region below, along with a topographical map of the area. Possible responsible parties and the wells that have been drilled are attached to this report. So, you're going to review the existing information. The site is located in a small town of Nephi-Ha in Utah. The Park River flows southward through the site. Recently, some residents in the area have reported poor water quality from their wells. A county laboratory analyzed 3 residential well samples and identified elevated chlorine levels, traces of dissolved heavy metals, and low pH levels. In the initial site walkover inspection, the potential sources of contamination included a gravel pit located at the northeast edge of the site. The economic welfare of many of the townspeople depends on this facility. The town's solid waste is disposed in a town-owned landfill located west of the river, and the municipal and industrial solid waste from surrounding towns is disposed of in a privately owned landfill located east of the river. Finally, there is a Chevron station located on the west of the river and south of the town's landfill. Gasoline is sold and vehicles are repaired routinely at this facility. The subsurface investigation during the fall of 2010, holes were drilled throughout the study area at the same depth, and small diameter monitoring wells were installed so that groundwater samples could be obtained. Based on the water table, elevation, measurement, and monitoring wells, the direction of the ground flow can be determined. The collection of the groundwater samples, based on the review of the existing information, the initial site walkover investigation, and the preliminary subsurface investigation, samples were collected from the 4 river sites and 23 monitoring wells. All samples have been tightly capped and stored in the refrigerator. We've actually tested those pHs of those samples and have given them to you in a data report. So yours will be filled in with pH samples. This is what we call dry lab, because you've got a sub, so you didn't get to test them, but the results are there. So each person in this classroom is a separate company vying for future jobs with environmental associates. Each company has employees vying for the promotion. You are these employees. You will come up with a company name for yourself. It has something to do with testing water or something like that. Okay, write-ups will be done by yourself, the best of which will represent the company to the city and will receive a 10-point bonus check. So you do a great job, you get an extra 10 points on this. So each write-up, each thing that you submit to Canvas it needs to be included in a Word document. You need to have the pH measurements of every water sample. So you need to include the data chart with your information. You need to put these on a map with colored pencil shading or shading on the computer for the areas of each pH, and with a downloaded map from Canvas or maps given in class. You need to create a key on the graph to identify what the color is. Now, if you choose to do it with colored pencils, that's great. You can take pictures of it with your phone and email it to yourself and then put it into the Word document. You need to determine the direction of the groundwater flow, show the flow with arrows of the same color going towards the river, and use the well monitoring data as a topographical map. The lines represent elevation. Remember that water flows down the steepest areas to the river. Identify the problem areas. Use colored pencils or colored shading on the computer. Once the problem areas have been identified, draw several arrows showing how the water flows through the contaminated area to the river. So here are your site map and your topographical map that you need to do. So if you choose to color these with the colored pencils, remember the colored pencils are on the wall there by the rulers, so you're welcome to use that, or the crayons. Then you'll need to take a picture of it and upload it so you can attach it into your document. So, or you can download it from Canvas and just color it with a computer. So if I did that from Canvas, I'm going to show you a couple of tricks. You can make a key in Word and then snip it, and I'll show you how to do snip it in a minute, and put it on here. So if I was to do snippet, I would just click here. I would open up a Word document. So I would have a Word document that I could put stuff in. Okay, I'm going to make this smaller, maybe. Okay, so here's my Word document off to the side. And then I just click that little window icon again, and I just type S. When I type S, it'll bring up a snipping tool. I click on that, and it comes up with this. And I say I want a new snippet. And so I could have made this key in Word and just grabbed it like that. And then if I right-click it, I can copy it. And then I just come over here to my document, and if I do Control-V, it pastes it. So I can do this with pictures that I want, anything that I want to grab from here I can do. It's this little icon down at the bottom with the scissors. So if I want to do another one, maybe I want to show the site map, I can grab it, again, right-click it, copy it, bring it where I want in my document, Control-V, and I've got it. Okay, so that's how you put it into your document that you're making with that you're going to be making. So I'm going to get rid of that for a minute and go back to this. So when I color it, I can take, well, let me come here. I can take and I can go into my document and I can bring in insert, a shape, grab a shape, and maybe I want that color to be the light blue, and I'm just going to go and I put it wherever the light blue is, and I can Control-C, copy it. I can get another one and paste it and move it around to wherever, whatever ones were 3, okay? So I can do that. I can also get a square by insert, shape, and grab a square and then change the color. You just do a right click and you change the fill color. Okay, so I've sort of shown you how to do that. So as you're doing it, say I got this, and I just did this at home. I didn't have the data in front of me, so I just made a bogus map, okay? So I've copied it here on the site map, but I've also copied it exactly over to the topo map. Now I'm looking at my data and I've got a lot of purple right here, so I look over at the site map and that's where the private landfill is, but it also had dark blue around the gravel field, so I probably have 2 PRPs. So I'm going to say that these 2 sites right here are what's causing the problem. So I'm going to take my arrows from the sites and show them coming down to the river. And I'm going to put those up there. So I've now moved my sites over here that I'm worried about onto my topo map, so I know which ones I'm going to call my PRPs. Once I've got all this pretty and done the way I want to, okay, and I've got it onto my Word document over here, and I've moved it over. Now remember, if I want to actually cut these off now, I just would go to the snippet tool. I would say new, and I could actually snip whatever I wanted and move it over. Right click, copy, and then put it over here in the document wherever I want it to, Control V, and it's there. Okay, it's right there. So real fast and easy to put it into a document so it's attached. All right, so coming back, once I get this all done, now I can actually start writing my letter that I have to write. It's going to be basically a 5-paragraph essay, and you're going to put your company logo at the top, okay? Whatever you want to decide your company's name is, something like that. And then you're going to say to whom it may concern. And your first paragraph is just going to be one in which you're writing a letter to the city and saying, to whom it may concern. Paragraph 1 is where you state who you think the responsible party is. So what's your claim or thesis? And it should also state how you're going to prove it with this, this, and this. It needs to have 3 things that you're going to use. I've put in here data table, groundwater flow analysis in color using the site map and the topographical map with the legend. Then in paragraph 2, you're going to talk about the data table and what things were in the data table. In paragraph 3, you're going to talk about the ground flow analysis using the site map. And then you're going to use paragraph 4 where you talk about topograph with the legend and how water's going to flow using the topograph. And then in the final paragraph, which is your paragraph 5, you're going to bring it all back together and say, because of da 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 da, this is why you believe this is the principal responsible party or the principal responsible parties. Make sure you sign your name. Since it's a thing that you're putting on Canvas, you're going to have to sign your name with a script, and then put underneath what you are, and then make sure you name your file with your first and last name, and then upload it to the Canvas account underneath this assignment. Okay? If you need to go back over this, I'm sure that the sub will go back over it with you, or you can re-listen to this. Either way, but the rest of the time is yours to get this all done and uploaded. So, you should have finished 10.5, corrected 10.3, and your assignment today is to write up this small town investigation of Nehi-Faiha. Good luck. I will be grading these from home, so make sure you do a good job.